I'm going to open the Board of Selectmen's meeting and call it to order. We have a couple of variances, or we have a variance, and we have some pole relocations. I am going to keep my mask on because it's the right thing to do. If you can't hear me or you get confused, just let me know and I'll speak up a little bit louder. The first thing we have on the agenda is an application for a health variance from the Board of Health for 5 Island Road extension. I'm going to ask Tim to read the green cards.
Oh, I don't have those green cards.
Okay, you have those? Okay, can you read those for the record, please?
Come on.
We have Paul L. Peter C. Pamela Barrows. Paul L. Okay. And we have Jane M. and Donald H. Barnes.
Okay. So we do have one of the abutters present for the meeting. So this variance is looking for a reduction in the setback to existing private well from 100 feet to 60 feet, a reduction in the setback to the existing private well at 3 Island Road extension from 100 feet to 85 feet, and a reduction in the setback to the existing private well at 25 Mohawk Ave from 100 to 60 feet. I'm going to turn it over now to Derek and the engineer. And can you just state your name for the record?
Yes, I'm Jason Youngfish from Outback Engineering. This is the plan where it's an existing house, existing 4-bedroom house, 5 Island Road extension. There's a failed septic system, and we're replacing it with a new leaching field, septic tank and leaching field, so it can work better and work the way it's supposed to. It's a small lot. Everybody's houses are fairly close together up there, and when that happens, you tend to have issues with being closer to people's wells. So kind of just putting it in the same general location, trying to stay far away from everybody's wells as we can, but obviously we couldn't meet the 100 feet. There was no way we could meet the 100 feet from everybody's.
How come we can't do it to the easement?
What do you mean?
There's an easement between this house here and it comes along the way over here, it goes down. There's an easement and it connects between 9 Island Road and 5 Island Road.
Here's 9 Island Road here, 5 Island Road is us.
Okay,
The
so
road's here, and there's the access
garage.
easement back here.
right, and
That's
there's
the
an
garage.
easement between these areas here. If it's going into the front of the house, why wouldn't it go across into the easement? Instead
Well,
of
the
coming
existing
back?
The existing septic's in the back of the house now, so we're putting it back where it was, essentially. If we go to the front of the house, and then we have wells right across the street that we're impacting. No matter where we go, we're impacting wells. So we're putting it back where it was and putting in a system that works and doing the best we can to fix their failed septic.
What's the impact of the wells? My question on that is, where is the flow of the wells? And what, not so much what you're putting in, you're replacing obviously something failed. What's leaching into the field now is not good. You're replacing that. What about the equipment digging on this? What is it going to do to the flow of the wells? Not just to me, but the local area is my question. If you're going to be digging, you're actually going to be disrupting the ground.
Yes.
Now you got to remember, these wells are not deep.
Right, but our septic systems are right at the surface, a couple feet down. So we're not digging down where it's going to be impacting your well, even if it is a well that's not deep. We're just impacting at the surface, so you're not going to have anything impacting hydrological flows below, deep down, deeper in the ground.
It's just an artesian well. I got a natural, it's only, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going off my grandparents now. It's 12 to 14 feet down. That's where you get water.
That's not an artesian well.
Or whatever, I'm not sure what
Is
it
it a point?
is. Point, sorry, thank you, point.
It's problematic.
And the last time we had a problem when they had a tree cut down, they put a little dent into their property and our water got arrested.
Mhm.
So basically they disrupted the ground and then it disrupted our well. So anything that you bring back there, any heavy equipment, I'm just watching her grandson drive over that property and it's literally sinking. And he drives a Ford truck, a Chevy truck.
We didn't have any issues. Did you have any issues when we did the perk test? Because that digs
Yes,
down.
we did. We had
quite a
rust
bit.
in our water.
When,
Yeah.
when was that?
After you did the digging with those little hole things.
We
We
were,
came over close to the road. There was a stump there.
no, we
Dug
didn't.
a hole down,
That wasn't us.
and somebody else had been there.
Yeah, that was. We weren't near the road. We were in the backyard more.
Yeah, you were in the backyard. There was a stump right. There was two stumps. He came right next to the stump, and then he hit a rock, and then he backed off. And then the next week we had rust in our water.
That wasn't us. I don't remember hitting any rocks. But again, all our disturbance will be at the surface, and it's a typical construction for a septic system. And again, it's not going to hit if you're down 14 feet with your well. That hydrological flow that's down that deep is not going to be impacted by digging up the surface. So the perk test goes down quite a bit deeper than the actual construction of the septic system.
And that's where they pour the water in, right?
When we do a perk test, yes, we dig down.
Well,
10,
that's what
11,
they did.
12
They dug holes, and then they put water inside the holes. And then if it wasn't your company, it had to be somebody else.
Yeah, I remember it's those rocks or anything like that, hitting the rocks. But I was out there, and but again, that goes quite a bit
because I'm
deeper.
home all day and I'm literally there, so I've been watching.
So is this where the tank is going now, or the septic system's going now?
That's the septic system. Here's the tank here.
Has anybody checked that tank? It hasn't been used in years.
We're putting in a
They're
new
putting
septic
all
tank.
new- It's all
It's
brand
just
new.
all gonna come out.
Everything's brand new. Yeah.
That was
So that's
my
gonna be a bigger
question.
The
hole?
cesspool we're going to fill in and leave. Pump it out, fill it in the sand and leave it. There's no sense digging it out. That's just extra digging. New septic tank going in, and then the leaching field.
So basically, you're shifting the tank then. Because if the tank, picture is a tank should be probably right about here, I'm guessing.
Here's our tank.
Yeah, but you're saying you're gonna fill the
Here's
original tank.
Yep.
The
Here's
original-
the existing cesspool right here. And there's the leaching field that we're putting in. This is one of the cesspools, and it was disturbed back in here as well. We found they must have dug something across from the cesspool way back when. So we found some overflow going that way. This hole we dug over here was disturbed down 10 feet. Looked like they had done some digging there years and years and years and years ago.
So it's probably from 27 out there. That's probably their leaching field.
You're the abutter?
Yes,
Yes.
this is me right here.
Okay,
25.
Yeah. just want to make sure.
So we look, your well was in the house there. We got that
Right,
from an old
yep.
plan, and then you had a sewer manhole right here.
Correct.
So you're
Where you got a tight tank, just because of
Yeah.
the area.
yeah, it's
That's the
not
tight
enough
tank.
room. Yep.
And our well is literally right there.
And there's another well sitting there. Their well's a little farther over. Their well's here. Our well's here. And then there's wells over here across the street, which we can pack anything going in front.
Where's the 100-foot radius from the septic?
Here's the 100-foot well radiuses.
So just the, okay.
That's the 100-foot well radius from that one. This is from this one. We didn't put the two closest ones on because they just overlap. So we put the distances listed on there.
So looks like the septic system is within the 100?
Yeah, that's why we're
Okay.
asking for
Okay.
reduction.
They want a 15-foot variance.
Reduce it down
What is
to
it?
They want a 15-foot variance.
Right. Like, I understand what you're saying and where the tank's going compared to the houses. This is the field. Obviously, you're cleaning this up. My concern was the disturbance on the ground.
Mhm.
Obviously, you're digging down, you put weight on there. And I get it's gonna be above, but you still got equipment coming over there disturbing the ground. So that was my concern.
I hear you on that. I think my concern would be the contamination from a failed
Right.
system.
Don't want that going in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand
So
that.
for me, that would be
Number one.
number one,
Right.
okay? So that's how I'm gonna base my opinion on it. I want to listen to you and I want to actually hear your concerns. I think that that's something for us to take into consideration. But I also have to weigh that out with a failed leach field into your water is not what you
No,
want to
definitely
happen.
not. No, we
So-
get that.
And we look at to the Board of Health to give us the best scenario. It may not make everybody happy, but it's the best scenario. And you yourself just said how tight everything is over there. So there's no room, you know, and that's what we look at. George, do you have any questions?
Yeah, well,
Why don't they put in a, oh, excuse me, why don't they put in a site tank?
We can't approve a tight tank unless there is absolutely no other option.
Well, they're
That's how
less
the
than
title, that's how
100
Title
feet from
V is
our
written.
house. It's less than 100 feet, but it's
A,
over
a variance to less than 100 feet is
Yeah.
a much better option than a tight tank.
the.
And if it was less than 50 feet, I wouldn't approve it at that point.
Yeah, the state won't let you go less than 50. They'll let you reduce it from 100 down to 50, but under 50, that's when they want you to start looking at tight tanks. But maybe in that 50 to 100 range,
is that what we have here?
we're at, yes,
What are we at?
50 to 100. We're in the 60
The
something.
closest one is, I believe, 63 or 65.
63 from ours, 61 there, 85, 87 there.
What's your opinion on this?
My opinion
It
is,
is.
unfortunately, this is probably the best design that we have to go with because of just how tight this whole area is. It's almost unavoidable to not run into a variance with a well. It's not my favorite variance issue, but again, it's better than a tight tank option.
Why? No, that's that. Why is it better than a tight tank?
It's,
You have all that leaky water coming up to the top.
it's just more, it's easiest way to explain it is there's a lot of maintenance required on a homeowner on a tight tank. There's a lot of responsibility on the homeowner on a tight tank.
We know that.
And it's hard to trust people to do the right thing with a tight tank.
Mhm.
So if you have an option that can avoid a tight tank, it's a more environmentally safe option.
Charlie? Oh, sorry. What?
So this means it's 61 feet.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hold on, Charlie. Charlie, do you have any questions?
I'm just, yes. The system that's being replaced is a cesspool, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Some
And
sort of overflow component with it.
the distance from the distance between the new system and the well in question of these folks that are there today, how much has it changed?
From the existing cesspool to the well,
Maybe 10 feet closer.
yeah, we're probably a little bit closer because the existing cesspool was way too close to our well. It was within 50. So
Okay.
we pushed the new system above 50 from ours and then stayed above 50 from theirs. So we're at 60 and some change from both of them.
Okay, but as to the cesspool, how many feet closer is it? Or is it just the size of the system that causes the distance?
Well, yes, the size of the cesspool is just, around 6 foot diameter cesspool straight down.
Uh-huh.
We're at the leaching field where we have all the chambers. It's quite a bit bigger at 14 by 28.
Okay. Okay, I'm all set.
Okay, George, any other questions?
Is there any other solution to this? Is that what we're looking at?
As far as citing it, I don't think so because like Jay had explained, even if you dealt with this area, you're still going to be having well issues. It's just the nature of this area. There's nothing you can do about wells. So unfortunately, as far as citing it, there's really not much.
And that's where the existing one was originally.
We can
Any-
pick up probably 7 or 8 more feet, pushing it towards our house, get under 60 from ours, but still greater than 50 and get them closer to 70. We could do that.
How are you
The
going to
well
push
is
it
an
closer to the
option here.
house without getting to 50 on this one?
But we have some 13 feet to play with. So if we went 7 or 8 feet, let's get them up to 70.
Are you, excuse me, are you worried about how close it is, or are you worried about anything happening over there to shake the earth?
Ultimately, it's the destruction of the water.
Right,
the flow of
so,
the water. That's what we're really looking at.
Moving-
I get the new tank's gonna
Right.
take care of, you don't want the polluted water.
Yes.
I get that. It's just, we just don't want the disruption of the well that's there.
right, so.
Only
no-
because I know it's that shallow.
Right,
And
so
that's-
no matter where they put it in that area, there's gonna be movement.
Yeah, as long as they don't, like you were just saying, if they moved it over that way a little bit more, there's not so much disruption on our side of the road. It's where, we'd be closer to where our well is. And I watched Barnes and Sons take down a tree, and they dropped it, and then a puddle formed right next to the trees where you're gonna put that septic tank, and it stayed there for a week. And I'm home all day long, so I see all of this. And maybe I should have recorded it, but the way they were cutting down the trees were wrong in the first place. They were too long, and they were just dropping them on the ground, so they didn't get to the ground.
I don't wanna get too off track, and I think that next time that happens,
that
you should
price
probably,
was-
you should
price
probably
was-
call the town administrator and let him know, so then that way we can take it up with Barnes since he contracts with the town, okay?
Okay,
So then that way we can handle that, but right now, the main issue right now is what we're gonna do with this setback and this variance. And are you going to try to move it over a little, or you know,
Absolutely, sure.
yes?
Yes, we could do that.
Okay,
It seems like it'd work fine.
okay,
Yes.
so I'll
We
entertain
just,
it.
we just have to be mindful of how far away we're getting from this well.
We gotta make sure we're greater than 50 from that one and give them a little extra more room, so when during construction, we're not.
Other than that, I'm okay with it, as long as we make sure that we have the distance from the locust well.
I'll entertain a motion to grant the variance, knowing that the engineer is going to do his best to move it over to the left, well, my left.
Let's
not
go
left.
with,
What do you wanna do?
Let's call that the east.
Okay, to the east, alleviating some of the pressure and work that has to be done, to satisfy the neighbors at the same time. Is a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do you have a second?
You okay with that?
Be fine. Yeah.
Okay, second motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Do we have to pull?
Nope.
Perfect. Okay,
awesome.
thank you
I
so much.
appreciate
No,
that.
no worries. Thank you.
Thank you for having the
Stay
meeting and
safe.
explaining to us.
Okay,
It helps. It
And
really does help. to-
if you have questions, feel free to give me a call.
Okay, and your name is?
I'm Derek, I'm the health agent. You all can go and get your file. So feel free to give me a call.
Okay. certainly.
yeah, and when you see something happening like Barnes and leaving that like that, and they did do that for a while. They knocked down all the trees and then they left them there and then they went back to pick them up after.
Yeah, no, he
But that
didn't-
was all around town. So, just call the town administrator, right, David? David? He's there.
Might have took himself out.
Just call the town hall, okay?
That's correct.
Thank
I
you
was
so much.
on mute. That's correct. I can take care of that.
Okay, thanks.
Go on the ground.
Those are the leaching
Alright.
chambers. So, it goes
So they're
something-
actually, I'm just, now I'm curious
So
how
the
the
new system's, bunch of chambers all connected, so
Obviously, you got the. Yeah.
I'm gonna go check around
So
front
built
again
up a
real
nice
quick.
biomass
Yeah, sure.
That filters the effluent and passes through. So it gets it treated and we situated it quite above water table, so it would, the adjusted water table, so it would get cleaned on its way through. Minimum requirement 4 feet and over 7 feet. Separation.
Okay,
I was
I'm
curious
gonna
how it
close
worked.
this public hearing, so we're all set with that, and if you guys wanna still continue the conversation, you're more than welcome to do that. If you wanna explain more to them, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I was more interested in the designs. I'm fine with it. I just wanted to see it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
I
much for
appreciate
your
you
help.
coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, we're gonna have a public hearing with the petitions submitted by Verizon New England and NSTAR, doing business as Eversource Energy to request permission to relocate 3 poles and place a new one and remove 2 poles and renumber the poles. So the poles that are gonna be relocated are 929, 931, and 933. And we're gonna place a new one at 930, and this is all on Richmond Road. So, is anybody from Eversource or NSTAR or Verizon here? Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Do
Motion made.
I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And another another, pole relocation. Petition is submitted by Verizon New England and N-Star Electric Company doing business as Eversource Energy to request permission to relocate one pole, pole number 35-20, and remove one pole, pole 35-20 PB on Forge Road. Do you have a motion to approve?
Motion made.
Second?
I'll make that second.
Do you have a second? All right, all in, what?
Just Lisa, when we send them this approval, if you could state that, it would be nice if they showed up for their
Yeah,
poll
I
here.
know, right?
Yeah,
I'm thinking the Richmond Road one is probably has to do with,
They're both South Coast.
yeah.
yeah, the rail and Forge Road too. Okay, perfect. Yeah, but I agree. Somebody from the rail or somebody from one of these places should be.
Matter of fact, if this wasn't approved, you'd end up with poles literally in the middle of the road, so.
Yeah.
Don't really have too much of a choice on this one.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand the point here.
Right, but yeah, they should be here.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Discussion and vote on town hall offices. David, are we all set on that?
As far as the assessors issue, yes, we are. I met with them last Wednesday. They agreed to allow us to use that to have residents fill out forms as well as to use it for one-on-one meetings. We still have some work that needs to be done, and Jeff is still trying to finish that up while working on the refrigeration unit over where you guys are. So we're on a tight timeline, and we're hoping that everything's going to be done by Thursday. That's the plan, at least.
Okay, so I'll just get to it. The issue was that they wanted to use that meeting room that we use because they don't want a lot of people in the middle of the hallway, and they want to use that office for Jackie or whomever to fill out paperwork. So there was some, there's records in there that had to be moved, and there's, I don't know, public records that have to be secured, things like that. So I
Yeah.
think from what you're saying, you ironed out everything.
We did.
This is just me speaking. Town hall is the people's hall. It doesn't belong to individuals. And at one time we had talked about moving people from upstairs to downstairs, and it's because it's not that we want to uplift everybody, but we have a reason to do things. And I think that just people have to be more open-minded about things like that. That's all. That's why I put it on the agenda.
I was pretty clear with them that the care and custody and control of the town hall was not the assessors, but rather the Board of Selectmen, as well as other town offices. It's up to the board to determine. We did want to give them the courtesy. We did that.
Absolutely.
They didn't object at all. I actually was pretty happy with the way the whole thing worked out, and we all seemed to agree that we can control the situation by buying some file cabinets, by rekeying the door and putting some kind of a door between the map room and the assessor's office that allows us to put plexiglass up so Mike can visually see who's in the office and that they're not touching the records. So.
Okay. All right. So we're all set on that, correct? And we don't need a vote or anything.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to go back to one thing that you said. You're not sure if you're going to open up on Thursday?
We still don't have the doorbell system installed, and we still haven't done anything in the assessor's office in terms of replacing that one door.
The water department.
The water department. Jeff is doing as much as he can with what he has. And the other thing was putting some kind of a mail slot in the planning board office. He's got 2 full days. We're working towards opening on Thursday. That's the plan. So if anything changes, I'll let the board know. But we're staying on the assumption that we are going to open on Thursday.
Do you have anything? Okay. I would really like to see town hall open on Thursday. It
Yeah.
has been a while now, and I understand things have to get done. But work has to get done, or residents have to see town hall and get their stuff done. There's been some talk about that on several of the websites on Facebook and on the internet. So we just got to make sure that and I know you're trying, I just want to make sure that
All right.
we're not making this prolonged. I know the doorbell thing was something that came up last minute. And like I said, when we talked about it, doesn't necessarily need to be in place now. It's something that we can open town hall and work on while we're doing that. And hopefully the doorbell is a thing to uphold everything. So
All right.
I
Well,
feel like the rest of the board feels like that too, like that we want to open up town hall as soon as possible.
Well, but I think the first thing is the safety of employees and safety of residents that end up in town hall. So, you know, I know that Jeff is working very hard on it. So, you know, but the thing is that sometimes, you know, he also has a job of being the building commissioner too. So I don't have a problem with the fact that if we might end up being a day or two behind. The thing is to get the job done right, and so that it works smoothly, and that everyone's health is taken care of. That's my opinion on this.
and
Just so
we,
you-
like I said, we're working towards getting it done on Thursday, so that we will be opening, but I'm just giving you the heads up just in case, you know.
Okay.
I
You
had
had
a
a question?
question.
Yeah.
For South Beach Chase Road regarding
Where's the maps?
this opening a town hall. It's going to be open so individuals can go to the town hall and walk in and request a document or request.
With a
So-
map.
With the
Yeah.
mask by appointment, if you show up, we will actually, we will let, the door is gonna be locked, we're gonna do appointments. But if a resident, I just wanna finish, if a resident does show up, we are gonna accept that person into town hall. We're gonna ask the person to go out to town, to go to their car, find the office that that person was going to go to, make sure that they have, you know, there's not two other people in the office, and allow them to come into the building by phone call once we're sure that we can accommodate that resident safely. It's a way a lot of businesses are working. It's a way a lot of, you know, primary care physicians, dentists are all doing the same type of strategy in terms of just making sure that the hallways aren't full of people so that we have people congregating in place. That's the goal.
I understand what the town administrator just said. From a townsperson's perspective, it is the town of Freetown, the Board of Selectmen's responsibility to ensure that the employees are safe.
Right.
The employees will be in their offices behind glass.
Mhm.
It is not the town, as a townsperson, it's an individual. It is not Market Basket's responsibility to keep me safe. It's not Home Depot's responsibility to keep me safe. It's my responsibility to implement safe practices, safe distancing, keep alcohol, keep my hands, not touch my face, not lick my fingers. That's an individual's responsibility. As far as letting people in, I understand you don't want a group of people congregating in the foyer. But I think it puts a lot of burden on people when they can't just show up. If I happen to be coming from Fall River and boom, it pops into my head, I need a form. I want to be able to stop and get the form. I don't want to hear that I have to print it online. Maybe I don't have a printer. Maybe I'm a senior citizen and I don't have that ability. So I would appreciate it. The town would concentrate on keeping the employees safe and let the townspeople not fend for themselves. But look, this is going to be around for a long time. And this is not over in 3 months. It's not over in 6 months. Herd immunity won't be established for anywhere from 2 to 5 years. I'm not getting this from the internet. I'm getting it directly from people who work at Mass General with COVID. And you know,
We're not asking anybody to print out
we
forms.
need access to the services, and we need. I would like to get a new passport. I can't get a passport because I can't go into town hall.
So
So
let
this
me,
is very frustrating for the townspeople.
Right, so one of the things that we did talk about was, number one, we're asking people to make an appointment. But I was concerned about people not knowing if they made an appointment, they didn't know, right? Like you just said, oh yeah, popped in. If they go to town hall, they should not be turned away for any reason because they didn't
We
make
are
an
not
appointment.
going to turn them
Right,
away.
so David has said that they're not gonna do that. So what we talked about is a doorbell system, like, hello, like a condo unit, right? Hello, or can you let me in? I'm here to see, the,
Who's gonna clean the butt?
right. So those are things that we're working on, but no one is gonna be turned away from town hall if they just remembered something.
By
So-
the way, you can get a doorbell system. I know this sounds really crazy. You can get a doorbell system where you don't have to touch the button, where you can actually step on it with your foot.
Okay,
Okay, so it might cost an extra $20, but they could probably invent it and it would keep David safe. So
all right. All right, so we're good with that. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to the personnel board.
That's Charlie.
Charlie.
Okay, yeah. And on the agenda, we have the appointment of Jeremy Travaris as a temporary election worker.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
You
right.
need the
All right.
roll?
Nope, you're good to go.
Nope, we're good.
All right.
I'll make, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
All right, we are good to
Good
go.
luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Election.
Oh, that's no.
Mhm.